dear students of medicine and allied sciences, I am happy to reach you through this video presentation on revision of histology. I am Dr. J.P. Gunasekaran, Professor of Anatomy at Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences and also author, Textbook of Histology, Atlas and a Practical Guide, Elsevier publication. The slides which you are going to see in this presentation are not new to you. You would have already seen these slides in your medical school during histology practical classes. Presentation of this type gives a quick review of all the slides with points of identification and related questions which are often asked during discussion of these slides. The whole histology is divided into 18 presentations, each of which is of 15 to 20 minutes duration. So the entire histology can be covered in 5 to 6 hours of viewing and listening. Now let's go to the presentation. This presentation deals with muscular tissue. Muscular tissue is one of the basic tissues of the body. It has got the property of contractility. The contractile proteins present in it are mainly actin and myosin. There are 3 types of muscles, namely skeletal, cardiac and smooth. Skeletal muscle is attached to bony skeleton. It shows cross striation and is under voluntary control. Cardiac muscle is present in heart. It also shows cross striations but is involuntary and has an inherent rhythmic contraction. Smooth muscle is present in the wall of hollow viscera and is non-striated. It exhibits a wave-like peristaltic contraction. Apart from these 3 types of muscles, there are contractile cells functioning as single cell units. They are myoepithelial cells, myofibroblasts, myoid cells and myointimal cells. This is a section of skeletal muscle cut longitudinally where one can see long parallel cylindrical unbranched fibers. The fibers are embedded in loose areolar connective tissue known as endomysium. This is a higher magnification of the same slide where the cross striations can be clearly seen. You have dark A bands and light I bands. Apart from cross striations, the peripherally placed nuclei can be well appreciated. This is the 3D picture of a skeletal muscle fiber which is compactly packed with myofibrils in an orderly manner give striations to the entire muscle. The myofibrils are made up of myofilaments. The myofilaments are of 2 types, namely thick myosin and thin actin filaments. The lateral ends of these filaments interdigitate with one another. The I band is traversed by a Z line and the distance between the 2 Z line is known as a sarcomere. This is the 3-dimension schematic picture of a skeletal muscle fiber under electron microscope showing sarcolemma, sarcoplasmic reticulum, myofibrils, mitochondria, etc. The unique feature of skeletal muscle is the presence of triad. The triad is composed of transverse or T-tubules which are finger-like invaginations of the sarcolemma flanked on either side by the terminal cisterns of the endoplasmic reticulum. Together with the T-tubules, and the terminal cisterns of the sarcoplasmic reticulum constitutes the triad. Triad is for uniform contraction of all muscle fibers. This is a photomicrograph of skeletal muscle, specially stained to show the motor end plates. The motor end plates appear dark oval areas, and they are the specialized neuromuscular junction. Acetylcholine is released at the motor end plate on stimulation of nerves. Reduction in acetylcholine receptors at the motor end plates leads to an autoimmune disease called myasthenia gravis. This is a H&D drawing of longitudinal section of a skeletal muscle, which can be identified by the presence of cross striations, the dark A bands and light I bands, long parallel cylindrical fibers without branching, many flat peripheral nuclei. This is a photomicrograph of cross section of skeletal muscle under high power, and this one is a schematic diagram of cross section of a muscle showing the general architecture. The muscle fibers are grouped into fascicles, and each fascicle is covered by a connective tissue sheath known as the perimysium. The individual muscle fibers are supported by loose areolar connective tissue known as the endomysium, and the entire muscle is surrounded by a dense connective tissue sheath known as the epimysium. In this photomicrograph, you can see a section of a muscle spindle containing intrafusal fibers. These intrafusal fibers are smaller than the extrafusal fibers. The intrafusal fibers are innervated by sensory fibers, and the main function of the muscle spindle is to detect the changes in the length of muscle fibers, that is proprioceptive in function. This is a H&D drawing of cross section of a skeletal muscle. This can be identified by the presence of bundles of muscle fibers separated by connective tissue sheath known as the perimysium, carrying blood vessels and nerves. The muscle fibers contains myofibrils which appear as dots in cross section, and also you can see the peripherally placed nuclei. This is a longitudinal section of cardiac muscle. The muscle fibers show branching and anastomosing pattern, and the fibers are embedded in loose connective tissue known as the endomysium. Under higher magnification, one can see the branching pattern very clearly. The fibers are shorter than the skeletal muscle fibers, and each has a single centrally placed nuclei, and these nuclei are achromatic and oval in shape, and those nuclei which are elliptical are belonging to the fibrocytes and fibroblasts of the endomysial connective tissue cells. The most striking feature of a cardiac muscle is the presence of intercalated disc. The intercalated discs are specialized cell junction at the ends of the adjacent muscle fibers. The gap junction present at the disc allow electrical continuity between the fibers, and so cardiac muscle is regarded as a functional syncytium. This is a HND drawing of longitudinal section of cardiac muscle, and it can be identified by the presence of short branching fibers, single oval centrally placed nucleus, and presence of intercalated discs, which are the specialized cell junction. This is a section of the wall of GIT where the smooth muscle fibers are arranged into two layers, inner circular and outer longitudinal. On this side, you have a longitudinally sectioned bundle of detrusor muscle from the urinary bladder, and here is a cross section of a bundle. If you look at these fibers, the smooth muscle fibers are cut along its long axis, where the fibers are spindle shaped with centrally placed elongated nuclei, whereas in cross section the fibers are cut in different planes. Those cut through the center will have a nucleus and it will be larger in size, and these small circles are cut through the periphery of the spindle shaped smooth muscle fibers. And here is a HND drawing of smooth muscle longitudinal section and cross section, where you can see clearly the spindle shaped cells, and here you can see the spherical structures of different sizes. The one large one is through the center of the muscle fibers showing the nuclei, whereas the other ones are smaller circles passing through the periphery of the muscle cells. This can be identified by the fusiform shape and elongated nuclei, and there is no striations in the smooth muscle. This is a table showing the differences between skeletal and cardiac muscle. The skeletal muscles are thick, long, unbranched fibers having many nuclei at the periphery, whereas the cardiac muscle is short and they have a single oval centrally placed nuclei, and the striations are faint over here and the striations are very prominent. No intercalated disc in skeletal muscle, whereas the cardiac muscle shows the intercalated disc. These are the light microscopic differences, whereas these ones are the electron microscopic differences between the skeletal and cardiac muscle. Here we have a slide showing the probable viva questions which are often asked at the time of discussion of the histology slide. So please go through these questions and find out answers for these questions. With this, we come to the end of presentation on muscular tissue. Thank you for listening and watching.